We're back. The defender making the save of the night. To watch that absolutely rifling.
That screamer, losing my voice.
So special. The second goal was far too easy.
Bring that meat feast back and stick some chilli sauce on it. This looks tasty.
Yeah, I do think we got away with it, to be honest. We just haven't got it over the line.
One of our greatest chances we've had in many years.
I wouldn't swap anything for it.
The feeling at that final whistle. Wow.
I don't think I'll ever celebrate a goal quite like that again.
Sheffield Wednesday are back in the Championship!
This is Football Forum Live.
With Joseph Hadfield, Josh Chapman, George Barber, Callum Cheswick, Ben Collins and Rob Green.
Good evening. There are some things that are certain in life. Death, taxes and Mitch Dunn hitting absolute worldies. Dunn shaping to shoot, he'll hit one! Mitch Dunn is at it again! If the one against Hallam was good, that was exceptional! He's shaped to shoot from all of 30 yards. He is some player this season for Handsworth. His fifth of the campaign. 34 on the watch. It's Handsworth 1, Penistone Church 0. Well, Handsworth extended their winning run to 7 games before it all went to bits at Albion. A victory on Saturday, though, means that another tonight won't change their league position necessarily, but will put the Ambers level on points with the top of the NCEL, behind only on goal difference, and with 2 games in hand. Knaresborough, meanwhile, can't seem to buy a win in the league, taking just a sole point out of the last 12 available. 5 in the Vars on Saturday means they're in good shape to arrest their league form. It's 2nd against 8th, it's Handsworth against Knaresborough Town. It's exclusive here on Football Forum Live, and kick-off is just moments away. The team news is to follow shortly. Also tonight, Blades battered to bits and then some. United suffer their worst league defeat in their 134-year history. Owls hopes of victory up the Swansea in South Wales. And our attention's on hopefully a better weekend for professional football in Sheffield. United off to the capital, and Wednesday welcome Sunderland. So plenty on the way over the next couple of hours. You won't miss a kick on Football Forum Live.
On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music and on your smart speaker.
Alexa, play Football Forum.
Discussing the latest from Leppings Lane to the street of Shoreham, this is Football Forum. So thank you very much indeed for your company. Welcome along to the Express Worktops Stadium, Handsworth. It is a rather windy Wednesday evening, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me, and we do not have too many technical issues this evening. We will do our best to provide as great a coverage as we can. The teams are out here at the Express Worktops Stadium. I'll just run you over that team news very shortly. It is 1 change for Handsworth. Bagley is in for Dunn. He's not involved in the matchday squad this evening. 4 changes for Knaresborough. Wildin, Emmett, Smith and Navier all come in. Beeston, Creamer and Parks aren't involved, and Kilner drops down to the bench. So we've got Parkin in goal. This for Handsworth. Parkin in goal. It's a back 4 of Cropper, Khan, Williams the captain and Trench, Fuchs and Arbuin as the 2 in midfield, Dodsworth, Bishop and Bagley, with Wells the lone striker. I'll go through the Knaresborough team news very shortly. We are about ready here at the Express Worktops Stadium. It is... I'm battling the wind this evening. You'll have to give me a bit of a chance as the referee just checks his watch. And we are off and underway here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth playing from left to right in this first half towards the railway end. They're in their traditional strip of the amber shirts, the black shorts and the black socks. Knaresborough Town, the visitors this evening, they are in their change strip they are in the all red this evening with the black shirt numbers. That may prove difficult, but it is a well-lit pitch this evening, so we shouldn't struggle too badly, mainly only so on that far-hand side. It's Football Forum Live here on this Wednesday evening. Thank you very much indeed for your company. Joseph Hadfield here over the next couple of hours to keep you company and talk you through this game as the ball is headed out from a throw-in, and that one will head towards the out towards the car park. But it's back in play, and it'll be a Handsworth throw-in on this near-hand side. Tom Cropper, the right-back, he'll take the first throw-in of the evening. And it's sent long towards into the box, but the Knaresborough head sends that one behind, and for the first corner of the evening on this near-hand side. So Knaresborough, very quickly, I'll just run you through their team. We haven't got a formation, but we do know is Tom Brown is in goal. 2 is Brett Smith. 3 is Harry Lee. 4 is Cole Wildin. As the corner is coming in, I'll go through the rest of the team news very shortly. That results in a goal kick. A header well over. Continuing with Knaresborough, 5 Eddie Cass. 6 Brad Walker. 7 Joe Navia. 8 Jack Emmett. 9 Nathan Cartman, who is the captain this evening. 10 is Cameron Bedford, and 11 Jack Carr. So as I mentioned, it's 4 changes for Knaresborough from that side, who triumphed in the FA Vars on Saturday. Obviously, a few more substitutes permitted in the FA Vars than in the Northern Counties Eastern League Premier Division. Apologies for the win this evening. I seem to have picked a rather disastrous gantry position this evening. Right in the middle, right on the edge of the stand, in the wind. I think, frankly, wherever I sat, I was going to struggle this evening. But we will persist as Handsworth get a long throw and play it downfield. And played long, and Handsworth have the ball here with Williams, the captain this evening, the club captain. Played long, misses the head, and Tom Brown in the Knaresborough goal will do nothing more than pick that up, carry it back to his 12-yard line, and will take the goal kick. It's Football Forum Live, just approaching the 3-minute mark this evening. Our big match referee on this Wednesday evening being that of Ryan Coulson. He's from the Lincolnshire FA. Daniel Pye and Laura Gilmore, both of the Sheffield and Hallamshire FA, providing assistance. On the bylines. So early stages, and Knaresborough looking to build an attack, and he comes as far as the safe hands of Parkin. And they've been rather safe in recent weeks. Obviously, that run of 7 straight league victories for Handsworth ended in some style away at Albion Sports 7 days prior. Here's Khan. Ball played crossfield here, looking for the services of Cropper as the rain starts to team down, and I've decided to sit a bit too close to the edge of the stand. I had no other choice. The 2 seats behind me pretty much disintegrating, so that wouldn't have paid well. As more supporters stream in, and I can't blame them, where would you rather spend a drizzly wet Wednesday evening? So Knaresborough with the throw then on this near-hand side. He'll play it in, looking for a head in red. But Namber's man clears that out. We think that was Alfie Dodsworth wearing shirt number 7. And same position for Knaresborough. They'll repeat their trick and do exactly the same again. Oops. Catching the mic. Knaresborough with this throw in then as the ball's played in and comes out to Dodsworth. And I'll go as far back. But played up long. And this is Kieran Wells. But Knaresborough intercept almost immediately and can play it forward. Looking for that of Jack Carr. But Handsworth regain possession on this near-hand side. Dodsworth. Trent. That is Cropper. Trench is on the other side, wearing shirt number 3 this evening. Khan looking to play it down towards Wells, but that only attracts the attention of Tommy Brown in the Knaresborough goal. Tommy Brown in the all-grey strip this evening and the white socks. Dylan Parkin in the familiar all neon green. That being of the home goalkeeper. And Knaresborough have a chance here on the edge of the box, but it's defended rather well from Handsworth, and Handsworth will play it long. Only as far as Knaresborough man, and that being Brad Walker, and he'll send it back to Tommy Brown in the Knaresborough goal. Played down, looking for, not entirely sure what shirt number that was. We will assuredly find out, that being the number 3, Harry Lee. And Handsworth with a throw in a very defensive position just by the corner flag. But Knaresborough persist, and here is the shirt number 11, that is Jack Carr, looking to play it off. Back to Jack Carr! And a great effort early on for Knaresborough. Just a tad wide, but up from all of almost 18-20 yards. A great effort, and the first of the evening. First effort for Knaresborough. Slightly off target, so Handsworth have the goal kick with Khan. He'll look and play it to Dodsworth. Dodsworth has Cropper in support, but Dodsworth runs out of room, and Harry Lee will take the throw, but it immediately goes to a Handsworth head. And a little bit of head tennis ensuing, but all a bit cagey in these opening minutes. 7.5 on the watch here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth 0, Knaresborough Town 0. As we mentioned, Handsworth, no chance of them going top of the Premier Division this evening. Silsden with that 5-0 victory at home to Goole last night put paid to that. But they could go level on points, albeit with Silsden having a rather advantageous goal difference. But more importantly, Handsworth having 2 games in hand to overturn that 0-point deficit. So a long ball played towards the Knaresborough man, but runs out of room, and that'll be a Handsworth goal kick. See you with Football Forum Live here on this Wednesday evening, as darkness has descended long ago in Sheffield 9. The wind is picking up, though. Thank God for paper clips, otherwise I'd be in trouble. So Trench over on the far hand side. He'll look to play it towards Bagley, and Bagley is in a little bit of trouble at the moment here. He'll play it, and that could have been an opening for Knaresborough, but not to be. Parkin with the skills just to get ahead of that, and Parkin taking a header as it goes out, and it will be a Knaresborough throw over on the far hand side in a rather advanced position. So 9 minutes on the watch, quite literally. It's Football Forum Live for you Wednesday evening here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Plenty more action on the way over the next couple of weeks, as this Knaresborough throw is played inwards, and Handsworth do well enough just to clear. But a Knaresborough man has it over on this near-hand side in a rather advanced position. He'll turn, that is shirt number 8, that is Jack Emmett. And Emmett shapes to shoot! But a great save from Parkin. Definitely took 1, if not 2 deflections off players as it steamed towards Parkin. But Parkin reacted just in the nick of time and at full stretch to tip that one over. First Knaresborough corner of the evening. 10 gone. Handsworth 0, Knaresborough Town 0 as my notes. I need a second paperclip for the bottom, but we will persist. So I'm unable to see who will take this corner over on the far hand side, but Knaresborough will take the corner. Ball is played in, looking into the box, and it's scrambled away, but that will come out as far as Emmett once more, the shirt number 8, over on the far hand side. Ball played once more inwards. But Handsworth can clear, and Handsworth can make an... The linesman gives it as offside, but the Knaresborough players have it back and will play advantage. Here is the shirt number 2 for Knaresborough, that being Brett Smith, looks to play a cheeky little ball round the corner, but Parkin is wise to that and retrieves the ball. Played out to Trench over on the far-hand side. Trench interchanges with Fuchs. And Fuchs will go back to Khan, and Khan back to Parkin. Playing out from the back here, Handsworth. We've seen a lot of teams try it, but will it work? They play it long now. Route 1 football. What else do you need? They'll need a few more ideas, shall we say, because Tommy Brown in the all grey, he gets that. Gets a safe pair of hands to it. 11 on the watch. 0-0 at the Express Worktops Stadium. Much more to come here on Football Forum Live over the next couple of hours. We'll have plenty of Sheffield United reaction, Sheffield Wednesday reaction, we hope. And we'll look ahead to the big games this weekend. Sheffield United travelling to West Ham. We'll have some Sunderland opinion as well. And this is a chance for Kieran Wells, who still holds possession of the ball. Strikes one, great save. Wouldn't have counted anyway. Linesman a tad late, shall we say, but nevertheless, Tommy Brown has the ball in his hands. So nothing doing on that. So Brown plays it long, looking for Cartman, the captain this evening. As Blackburn go a goal up at home to Cardiff in the League Cup third round. So it'll be Lee, Harry Lee, who will take this long throw inwards towards the box. Handsworth man heads it behind for a Knaresborough corner on this near-hand side. And I've obviously not altered my glasses well enough because the ear is slightly starting to hurt, but we shall persevere. So corner on this near-hand side for Knaresborough then. Ball's played in, looking towards the back post! And how did that not go in? Parkin in, well, I was going to say no man's land. He'd made a judged reaction to it, but that must have been cleared off the line. Alfie Dodsworth looked to have continued and puts the ball between the posts. Alfie Dodsworth, we know he's got that in his locker, but the referee had signalled for a Knaresborough free kick long ago. As the mascots race in front of our commentary position here. I'll correct myself, rather than being a Knaresborough free kick, a Knaresborough throw-in. Just over halfway as the wind picks up once again. Storm Agnes, I think. I'm no meteorologist. Bit of rough and tumble, and Handsworth win the free kick in a central position. Apologies for any of the wind feedback you may be picking up here on Football Forum Live as ball's played back to Parkin and to Khan. Henry Khan. One league goal so far this season, that coming in the win over Maltby, also scoring in his own net as Wells attempts something, and a great save! I believe that was Massey Arbuin who had the chance there. We thought it was an audacious effort from Wells. Oh! Ball in face. We thought Wells was attempting the audacious. He was. But it was well choreographed to present a chance for Massey Arbuin. Sadly. Close contact with the keeper. Dodsworth. Dodsworth plays the ball in, looking for the back post. Bit too much on that one as the rain starts to team down once again. A light drizzle this evening in Sheffield 9. Sadly, my notes are in paper form, as all good commentary notes should be. I'm not one of these that uses an iPad. And frankly, what space is there? So goal kick Knaresborough on this 15 and a half minutes on the watch here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Struggling to work out the formation that Knaresborough seem to be playing this evening. One may suggest that it is 3 at the back, and they may be playing that of a... Frankly, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not an avid watcher of Knaresborough Town, given the fact they play their games in West Yorkshire. It is a Knaresborough throw-in, though, on this near-hand side in a slightly advanced position. Harry Lee will take the throw. Another long throw we expect, as several players from both Handsworth and Knaresborough line the area. And I believe a Knaresborough man got a touch onto that, and he did indeed, because it goes behind for a Handsworth goal kick. Four wins in the last 5 for Handsworth, and have improved drastically when it comes to home fixtures. 2-1 victory on Saturday at home to Eccleshill, who they'll, fun enough, face in the second round of the Northern Counties Eastern League Cup. We will see just as when and where that is played. Maybe another Football Forum live commentary in the not too distant future. So, Knaresborough throw in a very advanced position, almost by the corner flag. Harry Lee to take once again. Throw comes in. Handsworth clear once again, but only just, and it's not out of the area, and a chance at a goal! And Knaresborough lead. A crowded box, parking unsighted, shall we say, and a great volley from all of 15 yards into the bottom left-hand corner. And it is the captain, Nathan Cartman, with the opening goal of the evening, his 5th in the Northern Counties Eastern League Premier Division this season. Got 2 on Saturday in the FA Vars. He's made that 3 in 2 games in the space of a matter of days. 19 on the watch. Handsworth 0, Knaresborough Town 1. So Handsworth restart, and it plays long up towards Wells, and Handsworth do win the free kick. All about 20-25 yards out. We know Mitch Dunn can hit these from this distance and further back, as we saw in our last visit to the Express Worktops Stadium. Sadly, he's not involved this evening. So it will be Alfie Dodsworth to take this with his left foot. You'd have to think he'd go for this from this kind of distance. The referee just checking the wall is right in position. Dodsworth will take this one. He'll hit one! And a bit of an obscured view there from my vantage position. Straight at Tommy Brown. Went low, went hard. And Tommy Brown got a save to that. And the ball's played long into the night sky and upwards towards Cartman, scorer of the first goal. I mean, if it was going to be anyone, you'd have to assume it would be Nathan Cartman. A chance from Jack Carr. Curling effort trying to catch Parkin out. But Handsworth regain possession on the halfway line. Bit of a high foot, nothing doing, and brings down his man. But the linesman, Daniel Pye, has his flag up. And another chance for Knaresborough. Equally as audacious as the ones we've seen Mitch Dunn do from that kind of area here at Handsworth. This time, it's Jack Carr. Jack Carr only with the one goal so far this season coming in the Premier Division. That coming against Penistone Church. Spent last season on loan at Liversedge. So Parkin with the goal kick plays long downfield. Clash of heads, but the referee sees nothing wrong with that. And Tom Bishop playing the central attacking mid-role this evening. He will get it, but it's played back to Parkin and now to Khan over on this near-hand side. Khan plays it long, looking for Kieran Wells. The flag's gone up anyway. Brown got there first of all. And I think Wells knows he probably could have been a bit quicker off the mark with that one. Maybe to catch Brown out. Classic centre-forward trick, hanging for a deflection. We've seen it happen. Knaresborough with the throw then, and win the throw on the halfway mark. Harry Lee, as he retrieves the ball just in front of us, with a wipe of the shirt. Slight bit of drizzle in there, but rolling around on this slightly wet artificial turf. So Lee with the throw takes and looks to continue. Handsworth win the ball back and look to advance. Here is Dodsworth. Dodsworth. We know what he's got in his locker. Dodsworth continues, but a great tackle from Knaresborough. That was a bit late. Just a tad late, that, from Eddie Cass. But the Knaresborough number 5. Spent time when he was at college in the USA. With a tackle like that, wouldn't surprise me if he had a spell of American football. Slightly rash, shall we say. 23 on the watch. We approach the halfway point of the first half. Handsworth 0, Knaresborough Town 1. That goal coming a few moments ago from Nathan Cartman, the captain this evening. Ball's played long over onto the far-hand side. And an open goal. And Dodsworth has had a banana ball there. An open goal, a real chance to equalise with no one in the net. But, I mean, taking it on the volley, it was all, and with these kind of windy conditions, there was always a slim chance of it going in anyway. More so getting picked up by the winds, and that indeed happened. So free kick to Knaresborough for a slightly rash challenge over on the far-hand side in a very defensive position. As we took over the halfway stage of this first half, Tommy Brown, the goalkeeper for Knaresborough, will take it. Brown plays the ball downfield. And Williams will do best just to belt that one out for a throw over on the far-hand side. See, with Football Forum Live on this windy Wednesday evening, as you can hear, I am sure. Long throw played in as the rain starts to team down again. And, of course, it's aiming right for us. The throw goes the way of Handsworth. And Handsworth take quickly and look to advance. High foot from the Knaresborough man, and Handsworth win a free kick. Looking to take it quickly, but the referee brings it back. Dodsworth looking to beat the offside trap. But it'll be taken and played back to Khan. Khan on halfway now for Handsworth. Looks to play it to Dodsworth, and Dodsworth finds off a deflection. He'll find Cropper. Cropper has Dodsworth in support. Dodsworth still going. Dodsworth continues. Looks to play it round the corner. That being Masai Arbuin. Looking for Cropper, but the offside flag was up anyway. So Knaresborough have the free kick in a very defensive position. As I can try and get my words right this evening. It is Football Forum Live on this Wednesday evening. Thank you very much indeed for your company. So Brown with the kick, sends it long field. Looking for a Knaresborough head. That will find a Handsworth head. And it's out for a Knaresborough throw. Harry Lee possessing some very good core strength there to balance himself on the side of the pitch. As Knaresborough stay on the attack, this is more of very stop-start at the moment, as Knaresborough look to build on that 1-0 lead. Harry Lee will have the throw. So Lee with the throw in on this near-hand side. The referee sees a foul in the box, and it's Handsworth free kick in a very defensive position. So Parkin takes the kick and looks out towards Trench. Trench looking for Bagley, but Knaresborough pick up possession. They float down this right-hand side looking to play it into the box. It's missed by the Handsworth man. And a shot. And Knaresborough still have the ball in the 18-yard box here. That's Walker. And Handsworth regain possession and look to continue and take it down this near-hand side. But that's back to Harry Lee. Good challenge from Alfie Dodsworth, but it's out for another Knaresborough throw. So Harry Lee with the throw. Play short. And exchanges a 1-2 with his teammate. But Dodsworth picks up possession and is hauled to the ground. Handsworth free kick. It's very, very stop-starty at the moment as Handsworth look for a way back into the game. Excuse me. It's Football Forum on your Wednesday evening. Football Forum Live, should we say. Handsworth 0, Knaresborough Town 1. Northern Counties Eastern League Premier Division action. And looking to play it on, and Handsworth with a chance here. The referee gives it the way of Knaresborough Town on their 18-yard box. And Bishop had a chance, couldn't get a head onto it. And it goes the way Knaresborough then have the free kick on the edge of the 18-yard box. Brown plays it downfield, looking for a head. He'll find a foot, but Handsworth clear, looking for Dodsworth. Dodsworth plays it up, Cropper, and looking into the middle. I assume that being for Masai Arbuin, but Knaresborough regain possession once more. Looking to play it long and beat the offside trap. Has he beaten offside trap? Here's Tom Bishop. Tom Bishop is pulled to the ground.
He's got to go, Rev.
Last man challenge. Bishop's down. The referee has to consider his options here. Slightly unsure as to who it was. I believe it was number 2, Brett Smith. Brett Smith seems to have been the one that has committed the offence. I'm not... No, that is number... Is that a number 4? Is that Cole Wildin? It's a red card! And Knaresborough are reduced to 10. And I'm unsure as to who that is that has been dismissed. Believing it is number 4, that being Cole Wildin. as the supporters alongside me doing their very best to assist in finding out who that is. We believe it's shirt number 4, and it is. Cole Wilding has been sent off here for Knaresborough Town. In the 31st minute, this is a chance for Alfie Dodsworth now. Cole Wilding sent off. Alfie Dodsworth will have this free kick then on the edge of the D. Wilding sent off. Dodsworth's take. Dodsworth! Took a deflection. It'll be a corner. As in my haste to find out it was shirt number 4, I seem to have ripped... never mind. So shirt number 4, Cole Wilding, has been sent off here for Knaresborough Town. Knaresborough down to 10 men. Handsworth have the corner. On this near-hand side. Corner played in. Comes out to Kieran Wells. Wells looking to send the ball back in. Will do so to Cropper. But a safe pair of hands from Tommy Brown in the Knaresborough goal. As a Handsworth free kick seems to have been given in an advanced position. I seem to have missed that while just checking my notes. The disadvantages of a solo commentary, never mind. Similar position to that of Dodsworth's. It will be Nathan Cartman wearing shirt 9, either that or that of shirt number 11, Jack Carr, who will take this free kick. About 20 yards out then on the edge of the D. Knaresborough looking to double their advantage. It will be Cartman. Cartman! Great save from Parkin. Judged it right, and a great save that from Dylan Parkin in the Handsworth goal. Remains Handsworth 0, Knaresborough Town 1. As the drizzle starts to team down once more. You can guess exactly where I'm going for the next hour and a half, and that's absolutely nowhere. And neither should you be. You should be listening to us right here on Football Forum Live. Handsworth give away another throw-in over on the far-hand side. As several supporters look for cover. And I can't blame them. So Knaresborough with the throw over on the far-hand side. As the rain starts to team down slightly stronger. And a chance for Knaresborough on the byline, but can he keep it in? He can indeed. And the loose ball is picked up by the Knaresborough man over on this far-hand side. Carr! A cracking effort from Parkin to keep that one out, but it's not cleared yet. And a great challenge from the Handsworth man. And Handsworth can advance. Masai Arbu in here. But Knaresborough nick it back. And we'll play it down over onto the far-hand side. Knaresborough with the ball here, approaching the edge of the penalty area. Dylan Parkin gets there ahead of Nathan Cartman. And Handsworth can build once more. Cropper. No, just light pollution, we think. The sky's going amber around here. So Knaresborough with the free kick here, as the assistant signalled for offside moments ago. Just under 10 minutes to go until we reach the break. Added time permitting. Brown with the kick down long field, then looking towards Cartman. And Carr. Parkin gets a safe pair of hands to that and sends it long field. But it's straight onto the head of a Knaresborough man. Here is Masai Arbuin. Plays it back to Fuchs. And Trench. As the rain really teams down now. Wells looking to fight his man. And the rain is really coming here. As we'll just move our position slightly to waterproof ourselves. So it's Tommy Brown with this defensive free kick. Brown plays it downfield. But Handsworth win the ball back. Goes out of play. Off the head of the Handsworth man. Knaresborough throwing. And we have a Handsworth player down over on the far hand side in a central position. Needing a bit of treatment. It'll be unlikely if he's hot and bothered, given the weather. As the Handsworth man, we can't see exactly which number it is, but he's receiving some treatment over on the far-hand side. Plenty more fun and games here on Football Forum Live over the next couple of weeks. We're off to Classico in a couple of weeks. As Penistone Church take on Emley. We'll hopefully be there on the 11th of October. Do join us. That's being in a fortnight's time. Will a substitute be needed? Doesn't look like it. As it goes rather quiet here in Sheffield 9. So Knaresborough with the throw then. On the far hand side. Very stop-start at the moment as Handsworth just look to defend a one-goal deficit. I know it sounds silly, but Knaresborough have looked like the team on top all this first half, despite being down to 10 men. And the referee gives a talking to the Knaresborough man, and he'll go in the book. One would assume that being Brett Smith, but we'll have to double check that. So Handsworth with the throw then over on the far hand side as we tick closer towards the break. Knaresborough winning possession back, but ball turned over immediately in net. Handsworth can break. Headed up towards Kieran Wells. And Tommy Brown was caught out there completely. And that was almost a golden opportunity for Kieran Wells. And hopefully you can still hear me. We're having a few technical issues at present. There we go. So corner played in for Handsworth, but it doesn't account to anything as the moon shines brightly over Sheffield 9. Played down the far-hand side of the pitch, but that will result in nothing more than a goal kick to Knaresborough. 40 gone at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth trailing by a goal to nil. The first Bovril was had of the season earlier on. Tasted excellent. What wasn't excellent is all the residue that was in the lid from the steam. That went all over my nose. but they've survived somehow as that one heads over the back of the stand and towards the car park. I'm hoping it's avoided my car. Otherwise, that'll be a very expensive bill heading the way of Knaresborough Town. And you can be assured it would be heading the way of Knaresborough Town. So with Tom Cropper with the throw on this near-hand side, right in front of our commentary position here, looking for Wells. Wells plays it down and looking for a Handsworth man, and that being of Michael Trench, but a Knaresborough man gets there just in time, sends it out for a Handsworth throw over on the far-hand side in an advanced position. Handsworth looking for an equaliser as we tick towards the half-time whistle. The referee spots something. Not quite sure as to what. No, he's ordered a retake of the throw-in. So Handsworth with the throw once again in this advanced position. 42 on the watch here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth looking to equalise. Throw comes in long, heading towards the box. Headed on. Chance. Up in the air around there, but Handsworth trying to recycle possession. Header wayward, and it's out for a Knaresborough throw. I'm no meteorologist, but it's very windy here. Knaresborough with the throw, and it's straight back to Tommy Brown in the visiting goal. Reaction to Sheffield United's 8-0 thumping at home to Newcastle United. That's coming up at half-time. As is a look ahead to the Blades away at West Ham at the weekend. And we'll get the Sunderland viewpoint ahead of Sheffield Wednesday's clash with the Black Cats. We'll get our Sunderland pundit, Andy Gordon's view on the Friday night football. And a bit of Chesterfield reaction as well, as they record 7 consecutive wins in the National League. Ben Collins will be on that one. That's all to come shortly. Stick with us here on Football Forum Live. Long throw in from Knaresborough then. Played around. Goes over the back of the goal, and it's a goal kick to Handsworth. Minute and a half of normal time left at the end of this first half. Played out once again. Here is Khan. Khan to Cropper. Cropper back to Parkin. We've seen a lot of passing between the Handsworth goalkeeper and his defensive line so far. Playing out from the back. To mixed fortunes, shall we say, so far tonight. Khan goes long, looking for Dodsworth on this near-hand side. Dodsworth wearing shirt number 7. Dodsworth sprints past his man. He's got Cropper in support. Dodsworth continues, takes it towards the byline, looking for a chance. Here is Kieran Wells, sends it across. No man there. Michael Trench. And the referee has given a penalty. A foul on Michael Trench, the number 3 there. And the referee has called a spot kick. As we approach added time, it will be Alfie Dodsworth to take here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Only 1 league goal so far for him this campaign, that coming in the win over Garforth Town. Looking to double his tally for the season. Remember the last penalty that Handsworth had here in the game against Hallam, I think it was. Or was it Penistone? No, it was Penistone Church, I do apologise. It was saved. So can Dodsworth level terms from the spot? It's Dodsworth. It's in! Alfie Dodsworth equalises for Handsworth. Made no mistake, straight down the left-hand side of the goal. Tommy Brown diving to his left, so in the opposite direction. Dodsworth making no mistake. 45 on the watch. It's Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1. As the 4th official signals 4 additional minutes, which we are into now. So Alfie Dodsworth, as we mentioned, doubling his tally for the campaign. Tommy Brown having no chance. And we're all square at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1. Knaresborough get us underway once more. Deflected off Bishop. And Handsworth regain possession here with Fuchs. Fuchs back to Williams. Williams, the captain this evening for Handsworth. Over to Trench, over on the far-hand side. He won the penalty that drew Handsworth level. And the referee has the cards out of his pocket once more. Calls another Knaresborough man. And a yellow card will be produced. Sadly, we're unsure as to who that is for. We know there's already two. Knaresborough yellow cards this evening. We're not quite sure as to whom, but we will do our best to check. So Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1 here. Football Forum Live for your Wednesday evening. Windy Wednesday evening here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Dodsworth out to Cropper over on this far-hand side. Cropper plays it in! And Wells just missing out in the nick of time there. Williams. Frankly, your guess is as good as mine. Was that a long pass? Was that a shot? Whatever it was, it's gone out for a Knaresborough throw. Knaresborough with the throw, results in nothing, and Handsworth take the throw over on the far-hand side. It's back to Parkin. Parkin in the Handsworth goal. As Cardiff make it 2-2 in added time. Blackburn 2, Cardiff 2 in the League Cup third round. We're watching Handsworth against Knaresborough here in the Northern Counties Eastern League Premier Division into the third of 4 additional minutes of time at the end of this first half. Handsworth level at 1-1 with Knaresborough Town here. Cropper plays it round the corner and reaches Cropper. Cropper on this near-hand side. Dummies his man and still keeps going. But the referee has his flag up. And it's a Knaresborough free kick. The wind picks up once again. If you're here in these conditions watching the Handsworth-Knaresborough game tonight, you're either a supporter of one of the two sides, you're mental, or you're in for a pint. And that is the half-time whistle here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Knaresborough going in front in the 19th minute with a lovely volley from the captain, Nathan Cartman. A volley in the area. Cole Wilding was sent off for the visitors for a last-man challenge. Dodsworth couldn't do out from the resultant free kick. But Dodsworth made no mistake from the spot when Handsworth got a penalty just before added time. He made no mistake and slotted away to lead the half-time scorer here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1.
The sooner they finish the M6, the better. It's only taken them 60 years.
The best thing to do is not to think.
I just loved it from the off.
Shall we do it then?
Might as well.
He's willing to have a shot and have a go.
We didn't really show the quality that I know we've got.
To say he's come in for £4 million, one of the steals of the summer, really.
We're going to go up that season. That's not how football works.
Such a silly mistake.
Would you take the gamble?
Oh yeah, I think if I knew the answer to that, I think I'd be like best football manager in the world.
It's just that feeling that you want to bottle up and keep with you forever.
Do you know where Bar is, mate? He goes, oh yeah, we don't serve alcoholic ground.
What? How many will you have drunk?
I'm going to go on XP.
Expected pounds on par.
That would be a horrendous number.
This is Football Forum.
Wednesdays from 9. You're with Football Forum Live here on your preferred podcast provider. Much appreciating your company. It is half-time where it's Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1. Let's turn our attention then back to last weekend's action as, it wasn't the game that Sheffield United fans wanted. It was a horror show. 8-0 they were beaten at home to Newcastle United. A Premier League record defeat, a league record defeat for Sheffield United in their 134-year history. The goals, I'll go through them very quickly. Sean Longstaff, Dan Byrne, Sven Botman, Callum Wilson, Anthony Gordon, Miguel Almiron, Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak, all finding at the back of the net. 8 individual scorers. Let's Paul Heckingbottom telling Match of the Day 2 afterwards. A bad end to what has been a bad week for us. Those results are going to come. We expect him. Nature of the performance that he's upset about. It's the second half in particular he's upset with. No one wants to see that. Supporters were first class. You could hear them all the way through. You can't feel sorry for yourself. We are ready to go tomorrow morning. Now, we've got 2 bits of reaction. Held against their will slightly, shall we say, but ever enthusiastic to the Football Forum cause. Let's firstly get the thoughts of our resident Sheffield United pundit, Josh Chapman.
I mean, where do you even start to try and cover Sunday's game? Or, well, was it a game? I don't even know if you can call it a game. Where do you even start? It was just embarrassing, top and bottom. It was just embarrassing. An absolute horror show. And I just don't really know what to say. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't really help when you're 3-0 down at half-time. Aided by probably some poor refereeing decisions. And I'm not necessarily saying that goals 2 and 3 would be directly because of poor refereeing decisions, because they weren't, because they were down to poor defending. However, the chances were created because of refereeing decisions not happening. First goal, regardless of the law, maybe, the law is what it is. I don't agree with the law, but I don't understand how a game of football has a law that says if it's handball like that has such an influence on a game, it's all right. The only reason that football stayed in on the pitch is because it hit Gordon's hand, whether he meant to do it or not. That you can kind of discuss that, but the only reason the ball has stayed on the football pitch in the first place is because it's hit his hand. It's not given, and you're 1-0 down, and then you get a second goal from a corner that probably shouldn't have been a corner because it was handball. You get a third goal, you get a free kick from a foul that wasn't a foul. Maybe you just can't tackle like that in the Premier League anymore. But he's taken a lot of the ball. He's taken all the ball. So and then you're 3-0 down, and then second half you think, oh well, let's try and keep it damage limitation. We go 4 at the back, which is just suicide really, because we're dreadful at 4 at the back. We've been awful 5 at the back all season, so what do? Let's take 1 defender off. Sounds about right, Hickey, nice one. Got a 4 at the back, absolutely capitulate, just no effort from any of them, and I think that's the thing that hurts the most, is that Sheffield United for a long time have been a team that has struggled for quality, but what it's lacked in quality is always made up for in effort and desire and a bit of care, and there just wasn't any of that on display. There was no passion on display, there was no energy on display, there was no interest on display, and I think that's what hurt the most, to just basically just go down with a complete whimper. Newcastle absolutely ruthless, and that's what teams can do in the Premier League, but were they particularly good? I don't know, probably not. They didn't need to be, and I'm not saying that to be kind of negative, but were Newcastle brilliant? No. They didn't need to be. They didn't have to be brilliant. All they had to do was get a shot on target and the ball was in the net. And in the second half, they didn't really need to have to work that hard to get a shot on target either, because we were just letting them waltz through. So, yeah, overall, absolute shambles. Where do we go from here? I don't really know. Does Heckingbottom keep his job? Well, I think before the Newcastle game, I was absolutely in favour of him keeping his job, because I thought we'd played well so far this season up to a point. Spurs were 98th minute in and we're winning, and then we end up losing 2-1. City, we get a late equaliser and then throw it away. Forest, we equalise and we throw a point away. We've been there or thereabouts most of the season. We've not picked up the points, but Sunday was just absolutely unacceptable in every sense of the word. Unacceptable. And I did question whether that might have been the end for Heckingbottom, but it was just awful. Absolute horror show.
Thanks, chappers. Let's also hear from the man who was commentating on that game on Sunday afternoon for Hospital Radio. Callum Cheswick.
Yeah, obviously the weekend wasn't a particularly great one for us. I think a lot of Sheffield United fans were going into the game against Newcastle with quite a bit of optimism that it could be our first win of the season, or a really successful point against a really good side, especially after they just played midweek in the Champions League over in Milan. But yeah, it was absolutely abysmal. The first 20 minutes up until the goal, I thought United competed really well. Thought when we got the ball down and moved it, we showed some nice patterns, some nice moves, especially working the ball down our right through Ahmed Odzic, Bogle and Harmer. And obviously we got a couple of quite decent opportunities with Luke Thomas, who couldn't finish either of them. And I think that kind of just poses a question to me, where had one of those chances for him had gone in, what the game might have looked like. But then obviously just a couple of minutes later, then they get the first goal, which in my opinion shouldn't be counting. We saw earlier in the week on the Monday night where Sander Berge handled the ball and Burnley Julie scored after his pass and finished by Foster. That's almost identical to me, not in terms of the situation, but it's handled to get an advantage by Gordon. He's kept the ball in, and from his pass they've scored 2 Longstaff. But remove that, I mean, it's one of them as well. If they don't score the first goal at that time, how does the game go from there? You never know. So yeah, I think there were a lot of ifs and buts for Sheffield United on Sunday. But after that, though, after 20 minutes, I thought we were both outclassed in terms of our quality and tactically, but we were also well outdone by Newcastle's efforts and determination and their character, which was left wanting by the Blades team for the first time in a long time, probably since the Chris Wilder COVID era. Probably that first game against Leicester where Hecky became caretaker manager for the back end of that season, where I've not seen the players' heads drop like that, which is quite concerning. And then also looking at that game where we've conceded from another 2 crosses in the first half alone. It's a really worrying statistic where we've conceded 9 goals from crosses this season, and the next team below us is Crystal Palace with 3. And especially when United were so good at defending and attacking set pieces last season, and crosses from open play as well were really strong in the numbers there, to this season just look totally inept and clueless on how to defend them. Whether questions have to be asked of tactical setup or individual roles, or maybe the new defensive coach Mark Hudson. Again, I don't know. I'm not partial to those conversations or the training methods that go on at the football club, but something's got to change to solve that, because we can't continue conceding goals like that as often as we are doing. And then the second half, we were, like I say, totally outclassed. The change in formation didn't really work. I mean, I get it was to try and chuck another striker up there to go and get the game back for us, but defensively, again, just looked totally inept. I thought it was a weird one to keep Ahmed Odzic on instead of Bogle, who was a right back by trade. But yeah, I think a lot of people got a lot of things wrong on Sunday, and towards the end it just got to a point where if you don't laugh you'll cry. And I suppose at least you can say you were there when you saw a team score 8 at Bramall Lane. It's just a shame it's not Sheffield United, but I think overall it's been a half decent start to the season in its context, but yeah, Sunday was a really, really worrying sign for me because it's just more the fact that I've never seen the players' heads drop or stop that willingness to go and keep going in games of football, and that was it was really worrying to see.
Thanks, Ches. More Sheffield United reaction to come later on as we preview West Ham United against Sheffield United. Let's get the viewpoint from the victor's side from Saturday. He's back on the programme for the first time in certainly over a year. Can't remember his last appearance, but he's back. Rob Green, let's get his thoughts at length on Newcastle's 8-0 victory over Sheffield United.
Good evening, Joseph. Good evening, lads. Hope you're all right. Don't want to sit around on the controversy around the first few goals. I don't know the handball rule well enough for the first goal with Anthony Gordon keeping it in. I believe that VAR must have had a look at the potential handball before the corner for Newcastle's second goal. And for the tackle that led to the third goal, the free kick that led to the third goal, you see tackles like that either not given as fouls at all, the defender sent off for them tackles, or what we saw today, a free kick and a yellow card. On that, it did seem from watching it that he had gone in hard, but had taken all of the ball. I haven't seen enough of a replay to comment further on that. I'd like to just say about how good Newcastle came on during the game. For the first 15 to 20 minutes, it was a good, cagey football match. Both teams had their chances. To be fair, Sheffield United didn't, possibly should have taken the lead, but as it was 0-0. Harvey Barnes' injury was probably the turning point of the game for Newcastle as an outlet, with bringing Anthony Gordon on after his big shift in midweek in Milan. Obviously, his assist for the first goal for Sean Longstaff was an excellent piece of keeping working at the ball. Whether he handled it he did handle it, and what the handball rule says, they have to have had a look at it and seen it to be fine. For Dan Burn's second goal from Trippier's set piece, that is just dreadful defending. Really, it was just being manhandled all the way around to the back post before getting his head on the ball to put it in, and then for Botman's header to make it 3-0 before half time. Again, he possibly rose higher than anyone else. You've seen a lot of Trippier's free kicks and corners not beat the first man, especially in 2023, and that just seemed to have only just got there and trickle across to the back post. Obviously, half time, it did feel like Newcastle would probably sit back with a big game against City midweek, possibly make a couple of substitutions. They didn't, and that led to some more positive forward play from our midfield and our attacking three. Probably the best goal of the game was the build-up play around the edge of the Sheffield United 18-yard box, keeping the passes moving, keeping the ball zipping around before finding Trippier, who just dinked the ball into the middle of the just outside the 6-yard box, where Wilson was completely unmarked again, which doesn't bode well for how Sheffield United were going to defend for the rest of the game. Then it just seemed to just be almost entirely Newcastle. Anthony Gordon's well-deserved goal was an excellent finish after working so hard for the best part of 50 minutes that he'd been on so far, which then sort of meant that as Miggy Almiron picked up his goal with a little run through the middle before finishing into Wes Fotheringham's far corner from the left-hand side was just sort of... It didn't seem like the Sheffield United defence and midfield had an answer. They didn't know whether to go to ground, whether to try and break up play, pick up a couple of yellow cards just to try and kill the game and kill the time a little bit. It just seemed like they were completely out of ideas, especially with Paul Heckingbottom seemingly trying to set them up in different ways, especially with the midfield. It almost just seemed to turn into a confused mess. The seventh, Bruno Guimaraes' pretty decent finish in the end, again, was just came from the Sheffield United defence and midfield almost bunching around the ball, and the deflection just taking it out to a man who most Newcastle fans, especially the group chat we had, thought he was offside because he was so far forward, before he just put it around Fotheringham without a massive amount of effort. And then the final one for the day was almost entirely poor Tom Davies' mistake. Just didn't get enough on his header going backwards towards I don't know who. He was so far away from the 18-yard box for it to be going back to the goalkeeper, and Tom and none of the defenders seemed anywhere near him for him to just be nodding it down. Again, a decent finish, but one-on-one you would expect £63 million international striker to put that away. There isn't a massive amount that Sheffield United can take away from it, apart from the fact that every other game this season that they haven't been out of. Newcastle probably got the rub of the green refereeing decision-wise early doors to put them 2 or 3-0 up, possibly. But after that, it just opened up into an excellent Newcastle display going forward, reminiscent of some of the games from last season, the wins away at West Ham, Brentford as good examples, as well as the Tottenham Hotspur. The first 20 minutes of that game in April were all just examples of where this team is heading. It was really exciting to see some of the younger players that we've brought in this summer. Lewis Hall getting his debut for Newcastle, him coming on and not looking particularly out of place, albeit against a tired and beaten Sheffield United team. Tony Livramento as the natural successor to Kieran Trippier, again seemed to fit him well. Bombed forward down that right hand side a few times. Didn't make a particularly massive impact, but was offered good signs of where he will go as a footballer in the future. To be able to bring almost £200 million worth of footballers off the bench at what was, I think, probably 5-0 at the time, it is just insane. And 2 years ago, when Newcastle were bottom of the Premier League under Steve Bruce, with this takeover seemingly dead in the water, again, we wouldn't have dreamt of having days like this, even in the Championship or League One, where it seemed like we were heading, let alone in the Premier League against a decent and good, solid footballing side in Sheffield United. It'll be a completely different game, the reverse fixture towards the end of the year. But we'll have to see where Newcastle go. As we say, it's been a big week with 3 clean sheets, a return to the Champions League, and then this result capping it off. But with Manchester City in midweek, our game against Burnley next weekend, again being a tough fixture against a promoted side, and then PSG coming to St James's for the first Champions League night under the lights in Newcastle in 20 years is huge going forward. Cheers, lads.
Thanks, Rob. Hopefully he'll be back on later on in the series. Plenty more hopefully to come from Rob here on Football Forum. It is Football Forum live here on your Wednesday evening from the Express Worktops Stadium. Plenty more, as I say, to come. For now, though, that wraps up Sheffield United.
Your home for United and Wednesday.
This is Football Forum Live.
You're with Football Forum Live on your preferred podcast provider. Much appreciating your company. So United's done. It's over to Wednesday now. And, a 3-0 defeat for Sheffield Wednesday. That one coming down at Swansea. It's not been a great start to life under Xisco for Sheffield Wednesday. Only 2 points on the board so far this campaign in the Championship. They got their first point and goalless draw away at West Yorkshire White, that team at West Yorkshire that shall not be named on this programme, at the start of September. Dumped out of the League Cup in the second round stage at home to Mansfield, drawing 1-1 and losing 5-4 on penalties to Mansfield Town. And they got their second point of the season with a 1-1 draw at home to Middlesbrough last Tuesday night. Second bottom against bottom. I think a draw was probably the right result. Also losing at home to Ipswich Town earlier on in the month. But a 3-0 defeat away at Swansea City last Saturday. Jamal Lowe with a 28th minute penalty. Jerry Yates and Charlie Patino following in 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. Sheffield Wednesday fans calling for Xisco to go, calling for Chansiri to go, and more protests planned for the game at home to Sunderland on Friday. We'll touch on that later on. For now, though, Xisco telling Radio Sheffield can offer chances to stay in the game. Tried to draw the game, hit the crossbar. 2 minutes later, they have the second goal and killed the game. We need to improve a lot in the last third, the last decision. Now I can say it's important we stay together. Arrived 2 months ago with 10 players. Believe in the players. I know they're working every day. They can put the focus on me. It's okay. I am continuing to my last day. So, Sheffield Wednesday there with a 3-0 defeat. So plenty more Sheffield Wednesday coverage to come on over the season here on Football Forum Live. For now, though, that wraps up Sheffield Wednesday. Let's just quickly turn our attention to this.
Covering the birthplace of the beautiful game.
The Local Roundup
with Joseph Hadfield.
Thank you very much. Let's get into this week's extended Local Roundup. Brief overview of the sides in the recent period. Starting off with
Rotherham United.
Yes, the Millers. 5 points from 4 games for them in the Championship so far this season. 23rd in the second tier. They got a victory at home to Norwich at the start of September and drew 1-1 with the then away at Huddersfield Town and Millwall. And Rotherham not going so well to their second consecutive season in the Championship. 23rd, as we mentioned. They are taking on Cardiff in South Wales on Saturday.
Barnsley.
The Reds, 2 3-1 losses for them recently, and then 3 consecutive 2-0 league victories. They did lose 3-2 away, at home to Portsmouth last Tuesday, including conceding twice within the same minute. But a 2-1 victory away at Northampton, I should say, on Saturday. So they're 16 points from 9 games, 5th in League One, only 3 points off Portsmouth, who sit at the top, and Blackpool for them at home on Saturday.
Doncaster Rovers.
Donny Rovers, 2 wins on the spin after only picking up 2 points from the first 7 games, sitting on 8 from 9, 19th in League Two. Barrow at home on Barrow away on Saturday, I should say. Those wins coming away at Forest Green Rovers, a 2-1, and then a 2-1 at home against Gillingham last Saturday. Chesterfield, 7 consecutive wins for that victory away at Rochdale last night. 31 points from their 12 games so far this season, only dropping 5 all season. They sit top of the National League and will take on Maidenhead United on Saturday. Maidenhead United away on Saturday. Reaction from Ben Collins to come very short.
Hallam FC.
And Hallam, it's been a while since we've seen the countrymen in action. 1 draw and 3 defeats since they won at home to Penistone Church at the end of August. Lots of injuries have troubled them recently, including a couple last night. They have got Stocksbridge Park Steels away in the second round of the Sheffield and Hallamshire Senior Cup. We will have live commentary of the final, whoever is involved. 13 points from Hallam from their opening 9 games. Campion away on Saturday. They are 10th in the Northern Counties Eastern League Premier Division, only 4 points off the playoffs, and they've drawn Coventry United in the first round of the FA Vars.
With the latest from the NCEL.
This is Football Forum Live.
So there's your local roundup. Let's get some additional reaction then before the teams return for the second half. Ben Collins, let's get his thoughts.
I'll keep it short and sweet. Chesterfield have been outstanding so far this season, and to be honest, there's not a lot really to complain. The only thing I can really complain about from Chesterfield is just how at times where we've just dropped for a good 5 to 10 minutes and the opposition has gone and conceded. We've done this now against pretty much the last couple of sides we've played. We definitely did it against Halifax, we did it against Willstone, and even after going 1-0 up last night against Rochdale, we did it. So we really need to, we really do need to stop having these 5 to 10 minute moments of blips where we drop the heads, everybody just drops their guard and they just go and concede against us. For the Halifax game, to be honest, we played really well despite the poor officiating from the referee. I know I don't like to criticise the West, but yeah, it wasn't great, to be honest. However, I said it before in this programme and I'll say it again, I just wish Paul Cook could control his passion, because he is the first Chesterfield manager that I've seen in a while that's truly revolutionised the club, and the passion's there, obviously. So, yes, I do love the passion that Paul Cook brings to the table, but at times, like crucial games like this, where we need strong management, it's a bit of a shame to see him pick up a red card, and it's just a shame seeing Paul Cook to sarcastically clap the ref and then obviously get a red card because of it. But to be honest, that game was a very tough one for us with the poor officiating. But of course, Quigley coming in at the 91st minute to get us back the 3 points we deserved. But yeah, for the league, I feel really hopeful that we can, if we keep the momentum going, 31 points out of a possible 36 ain't half bad, to be honest. Only lost 1, and we've had a 7 winless streak now. So yeah, pretty positive going ahead for Chesterfield. I'd hope to say we can keep up with the performance that we've already shown, and hopefully we don't do what we did last season and we had a poor run of games where we basically lost the chance to get promotion towards the end of the season. But no, I hope we just don't have another run of form where we lose 7 on the trot, or how many it were last season, and we end up bottling automatic promotion.
With the latest from the Steel City,
this is Football Forum Live.
It is is Football Forum Live on your Wednesday evening here from the Express Worktops Stadium. Before the two teams re-emerge, let's turn our attention to some preview material for this weekend's game, starting with Sheffield United. They're off to the capital as they face West Ham United. West Ham in 7th, United rock bottom of the Premier League. 3 o'clock kick-off on Saturday. Let's hear from Josh Chapman.
Well, yeah, this weekend is a new weekend. It's another game. It's going to be a tough game. West Ham away. Not an easy place to go. They've got some good players. I really, really like James Ward-Prowse. I liked him from his time at Southampton. I think he's a very, very good midfielder. Got an excellent set-piece delivery on him. He plays like Jared Bowen, who are playing really well. So it's going to be a tough game. And I think it's probably going to be a game where we're just not going to get anything out of. We've got to see a reaction. The good news is that McBurney will be back. We really need to see George Baldock back at some point soon, just to give us that bit of passion, bit of energy, bit of desire, because we really liked that on Sunday against Newcastle. You could really tell that McBurney wasn't in the team, and that Baldock wasn't in the team. And you know, I said on Twitter that I find it incredible that a 25-man squad absolutely ceases to function without those two in it, and I think it's absolutely disgraceful that is the case. But yeah, so the good news is we've got McBurney back. Baldock, not too sure about the extent of his injury, but hopefully he's not too far away. We've got to see a reaction on Saturday. We've got to see a reaction. It's going to be a tough place to go. We've got to get something out of the game. That is the top and bottom of it, because teams are going to start pulling away from us if we're not careful. If we want any chance of staying up this season, we've got to start picking points up, and that has to be from this Saturday. I don't really know what to suggest, to be honest. I think McAtee's probably been a little bit unlucky so far. Both games he's played in probably been games he's not really been able to influence much, but he's got to get on the ball more. Archer clearly didn't work as a lone striker on Sunday, but his partnership with McBurney against Everton looked really promising. But they've got to start working closer together. I think, you know, McBurney will generally win the ball and hold it up, but Archer's got to get closer to him. So yeah, but the long and short of it is we have absolutely got to tighten up at the back. The defensive performances have been absolutely appalling. I don't know what John Egan's doing. Anel just looks completely off it, although I thought played very well against Spurs when he was in the middle of a three. But on the right hand side of a three, he's been awful this season, genuinely awful. You know, we've got Austin Trusty sat on the bench, and I just think, what is he doing? What's he doing wrong? Why is he not getting a game? I'd be so tempted to play him, take Egan out, because he's been awful so far this season. Egan, absolutely dreadful. I think the one saving grace defensively is that Luke Thomas has been very, very good since coming in. I think Robinson has been fairly good as well. Certainly the best of the three centre halves, but there's not really much competition at the minute. So, but yeah, I think Luke Thomas has been very good since coming in. I think defensively he's played well. I think he had a bit of a shaky one maybe on Sunday, but he was still probably one of the better players. So yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game this week. We've got to get something out of it. However, I just don't think we will. I think it's going to be 2-1 West Ham.
Thanks, Chappers. He'll be back on the next programme, no doubt. While we've got him in our company as well on this programme, Callum Cheswick, what's his thoughts for United's trip to face the Hammers?
Yeah, so it's a trip down to London again to face West Ham on Saturday, and there's been a lot made about Paul Eckingbottom's future as Sheffield United manager, and I must admit, I've said on this podcast before on Football Forum where I don't think that Paul Eckingbottom is tactically good enough to manage in the Premier League. I thought that he probably wouldn't survive till the new year as manager of the club. My thoughts on his tactical ability still haven't changed. I still think he's an okay manager. I think he seems a good man manager from what I've seen and experienced from Paul Eckingbottom, but tactically there is still doubts for me from, again, what I've seen over the past couple of years. But what I will say is that my opinion of him has certainly changed that I was slightly concerned going into the season with him at the end of last season. However, going into the start of this Premier League season, I was a bit more confident. You know, he's had one hand tied behind his back in losing Iliman Ndiaye, who could single-handedly win your games of football on his own, win your points. And obviously with United's spending abilities, there's no chance that you're ever going to replace Iliman's quality. So he's had one hand tied behind his back in that sense. But again, something you could always speak about for Paul Heckingbottom was the attitude of the players. Was you could never question that. Same with Chris Wilder for 99% of the time. Obviously, take away that COVID season, you don't think you could say that at all. But losing 8-0 is certainly going to throw a spanner in the works, I think, for me. Because I think, obviously, once it happens again, if you go behind early on against a good side, like obviously Newcastle are, there's going to be those doubts, there's going to be them alarm bells ringing, both for himself, the players, the fans, and if that capitulation of the effort and the character goes again, like it did on Sunday, it really isn't a good look for Paul Heckingbottom. I still think it's way too soon to be thinking about replacing him. I think he's got enough credit in his bank to still be here for a little while longer. Yeah, put it that way. Worked on some really difficult situations and circumstances, especially last season, obviously with a failed takeover, the embargo, loads of injuries, and yeah, he's done really well with that. Like I said, I think he still has credit in the bank to try and fight this, and I don't think any Sheffield United fan was expecting this to be an easy season and expecting us to be challenging for European football again. But what I will say is that I think that they probably expected a bit more fight out of games, and we can look at the games and isolate them, but we've conceded the most shots, now the most goals, played the most long passes, conceded the most expected goals from set pieces, conceded the most goals from crosses. It's just not like the Sheffield United that we were used to seeing under Paul Heckingbottom for large parts last season, which I do think has to be a concern and something that does have to be addressed sooner rather than later, because the longer we go without a win or points, the more you're going to be falling behind the pack, and you're just making up the numbers come the end of the season when you get relegated back to the Championship. So, like I say, still think he has credit in his bank. For West Ham, obviously they're really, really strong at attacking set pieces, and that doesn't help us when we've conceded the most amount of expected goals from set pieces. So I think my money would be on a set piece goal for West Ham at the weekend, especially now they got James Ward-Prowse delivering corners and wide free kicks, things like that. It's going to be really dangerous every time they get a set piece in our attacking third. They like to play quite transitional, so it'll be interesting to see how Paul Heckingbottom sets up, because on Sunday, he set United up to be quite transitional and quite attacking, in my opinion, which he didn't do against Tottenham and Manchester City, and obviously we got punished for that. So it'll be interesting to see whether he goes again to try and attack West Ham a little bit more, which then leaves us vulnerable to the counter-attack, or try and sit in and beat West Ham at their own game, which probably lessens our ability going forward, but keeps things a bit tighter at the back. And when you lose 8-0 the week before, I think that's probably going to be what he does. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what United do tactically, and I do fear a little bit for Paul Heckingbottom that if United do lose heavily, that the fans will start to turn a little bit more, because I think up until that Tottenham game where there'd been nothing released about United potentially sounding out Chris Wilder for return, no, I don't think anyone was even suggesting that Paul Eckingbottom should be going anywhere. But since then, there's been a lot more emphasis on his future, and that's a worrying thing for me when the pressure gets built on him and the board to ultimately make a decision on his future. As much as Stephen Bettis has come out and said that his job is safe for the season, you never know. As soon as the attendances start dropping and people stop coming to games and you're losing that income, the question's going to be asked, and that's when the board will have a decision to make. But be interesting to see how United get on this weekend. Play like they did against Everton, in a sense, who are also quite transitional. It'll be quite a good game, I think, for Eckingbottom to get the fans back on board. But I wouldn't say I'm positive, just because of how poor we've been defensively this season.
Cheers. Sheffield Wednesday also in action this weekend. Friday night football taking us Sunderland in 5th. Friday 8 o'clock kickoff, it's on the telly. I'll be watching that, beer in hand. Let's see if we can and get some reaction from George Barber.
Morning, Hatters. How are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. Thanks for inviting me back on the podcast. I haven't been on in a few weeks because I've been busy. Currently preparing for a job interview, the second round of it. So thanks very much for having me on. I'm just going to do a quick preview of the Sunderland game tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it. I think we're going to get hammered. But I've got to remain a bit positive. But positive, I don't think in my mind means letting it get to 7:55 in the pub for an 8 o'clock kickoff and then probably deciding not to go. So that's probably how that's going to go tomorrow. As far as I'm concerned, I can't see Wednesday winning a game till probably earliest December. I think Andy Gordon will be having a nice Friday night. Well, I will as well, because I'll be going to West Street after the game if anyone fancies a pint. But we'll probably need it after the Sunderland match. As far as I'm concerned, the other day we played a game against Swansea. I didn't watch it. I have no interest in watching the highlights either. We lost 3-0. We are so that's about it for that. In terms of my predictions for the weekend, I think Wednesday will probably lose to Sunderland. On a serious level, I think Sunderland will beat Wednesday probably 2-1, 3-0 maybe. I've already done my predictions anyway, so it don't really matter. Sheffield United are rubbish as well, so they're going to lose. In terms of Wednesday in general, I can't really stick the club at the minute. I'm actually getting a bit sick of going. I don't go to away games anymore. I'm actually preferring to go to the Steelers again, which is actually quite good for your mental health because they win games. They won twice last weekend. Really good performances against Guildford and Coventry. So yeah, I'm not a happy bunny. And if you'd like to clip this up, I've got a message for the players. And it's please win on Friday night, because I'll be 10 pints deep before the game kicks off and I won't be able to see the ball. So if a goal goes in, I'll be really happy. But yeah, sorry for the very short clips, and I'm sure everyone else's is more in depth. I'm just sick and tired of Wednesday at the minute. But I appreciate you asking me to do this.
We're doing our predictions within our group chat, and we will have score updates via our social media platforms as soon as we can. What I can tell you is George Barber, despite his persistence with 6 sixes and 8 eights score lines for wildcards, he's stormed into the lead with almost a 300-point advantage. Crazy. Nevertheless, the teams are approaching the resumption of the second half. Do not despair. We are going to be back at Penistone Church against Emley on the 11th of October, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there's plenty more Football Forum reaction to come before then.
The sooner they finish the M6, the better. It's only taken them 60 years.
The best thing to do is not to think. I just loved it from the off.
Shall we do it then?
Might as well.
He's willing to have a shot and have a go.
We didn't really show the quality that I know we've got.
To say he's come in for £4 million, one of the steals of the summer, really.
We're going to go up that season. That's not how football works.
Such a silly mistake.
Would you take the gamble?
Oh, yeah. I think if I knew the answer to that, I think I'd be like best football manager in the world.
It's just that feeling that you want to bottle up and keep with you forever.
Do you know where Bar is, mate? He goes, oh yeah, we don't serve alcohol
Colleen Ground.
What?
Irish Premier Division.
That's not allowed.
Is that not allowed?
No.
I was looking forward to the Sligo Rovers against Drogheda.
Sligo Rovers supposed to be quite good.
Both 9 points out of 11 games.
What you
9 points out of 11.
This is Football Forum.
Wednesdays from 9. It is Football Forum Live on your Wednesday evening. Thank you very much indeed for your company. Still awaiting the return of the two sides here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Before we do that, let's just bring you up to date with the latest scores across the country in the Carabao Cup. It is the third round stage, as we mentioned. These are all half-time scores. Aston Villa 0, Everton 1. Half-time, it's Blackburn Rovers 2, Cardiff City 2. AFC Bournemouth 0, Stoke City 0. Brentford 0, Arsenal 1. Reece Nelson with the goal there, as someone seems to have got hold of. No, that is the match announcer speaking with the mascots as we continue our scores. Half-time, it's Chelsea 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Fulham 1, Norwich City 0. Lincoln City are holding West Ham United 0-0. Liverpool 0, Leicester City 1. McAteer with a third-minute goal there. And at half-time also, it is Newcastle United 0, Manchester City 0. That one has just gone to half-time. Plenty of European action going on as the wind is getting ever stronger. Let's see if we can very quickly take a look at. Let's see if we can take a look at some of the scores that are going on across the country. Across the region in the Northern Counties Eastern League Premier Division. We've got Albion Sports taking on Garforth Town. We've got Campion against Eccleshill United. And Penistone Church are taking on Rossington Main this evening. If we can just quickly double check, we should have a half-time score. And indeed, they've just Memorial Ground. It is currently Penistone Church 1, Rossington Main 1. Plenty still to come here on Football Forum Live as the two teams re-emerge here for the second half here at the Express Worktops Stadium. I forgot to stop the stopwatch in the first half. Two teams are back out here in Sheffield 9. It will be Knaresborough to get us underway in the second half in their all red strip. Handsworth, as we know, in their amber and black. As a substitution is made at half-time, and it is Alfie Dodsworth coming off the field. Oh, it's Knaresborough, I do apologise. Sam Cook is on at half-time for Knaresborough. Joe Navier has gone off. So Navier off, as my mic takes a bit. Is the mic okay? We believe it is. Joe Navier off then for Knaresborough. Sam Cook is on. We're about to get off and underway for the second half here at the Express Worktops Stadium. We are off and underway in the second half here in Sheffield 9. Knaresborough Town getting us restarted. Knaresborough in their all red strip this evening. As we mentioned, Handsworth in their traditional amber and black. Knaresborough in the second half playing from left to right as we look on this far hand side. Second half, it is Handsworth that are playing towards the Shutter Services stand end. So Sam Cook is on for Knaresborough Town. Long-serving member of the Knaresborough squad. Been here since 2016. So Handsworth over on this far hand side, but it will be Knaresborough that have a throw-in in an advanced position. So long throw once more. We believe this will be Harry Lee. Lee sends it over, looking for a Knaresborough man, but Parkin gets it and takes a quick tumble. Here is Brandon Bagley. As the wind gets stronger, Trench. Bagley. Over to the far hand side. And Bishop. Dodsworth, but Knaresborough can get interested in picking French. To Williams. And an advanced position now can kick. As the wind gets ever more stronger here at the Express Worktops Stadium. 2.5 gone in this second period. Plenty more Football Forum action along the way in the not too distant future. Keep checking our social media accounts, and if you're listening to this, if you've got a game that you want us to come to, as long as it's fairly local, we'll be there. As long as it doesn't coincide with other events on the calendar, shall we say. And don't forget the Sheffield and Hallamshire Senior Cup final. That will be live, we assume, once again from the Eco Power Stadium. In middle of May, we'll have that live for you as well. As we did a few months ago. Line, but a Handsworth goal kick. Dylan Parkin featuring in that Senior Cup final back in May. On the losing side, sadly, for Maltby Main. Had the ball in the back of his net twice in the space of about 10 minutes. Handsworth on halfway looking to build something. Here's Trench. Trench looking to play it forward to... Unsure as to who that is. I believe it's Dodsworth. Dodsworth back to Trench. Trench plays across towards Fuchs. Fuchs looking for options. Plays a central ball through to Kieran Wells. Wells, this is to Bishop, and looking to play down towards Cropper, but just runs out of room, and that is another Knaresborough goal kick. I thought he had two there. So Knaresborough indeed will take this. Knaresborough with the goal kick then, as Tommy Brown plays free possession. But Knaresborough intercept and win it back once more, and they'll look to advance down this far-hand side. Challenge from Dodsworth, that'll produce, Masai Arbu in that it is. It'll produce nothing more than a free kick to Knaresborough on halfway. Kieran Wells, he's protesting. So Knaresborough with the free kick, takes long, played in. Off the head of Eddie Cass. But Handsworth build possession as Blackburn Rovers go 4-2 up at home to Cardiff in the third round of the League Cup. Cardiff with the mountain to climb once more. Knaresborough have possession over on the far hand side in front of the technical areas. And Knaresborough win the throw just in front of their own dugout. .51 on the watch here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth one game on the back of victories at the weekend. One in the league, one in the Vars. But it's Handsworth that possess the stronger league form as the ball's played in towards the box. Fuchs sends it outwards. Knaresborough send it back in. And here is Alfie Dodsworth, scorer of the Handsworth goal this evening. On to the number 11, Brandon Bagley. Bagley as that one is headed down towards Tinsley Golf Club. So Handsworth throw on this near-hand side in an advanced position. It will be Michael Trench wearing shirt number 3 to take it. Once a new ball is received, and has done so now. So Duke sends it in long, but that passes over everyone, is out for a goal kick. Parkin having to, Tommy Brown having to retrieve the ball all himself. Good versatility. So Knaresborough goal kick then, played up long. And up towards a Handsworth head. And Handsworth can look to build an attack and will do so. Looking for Bagley. Dodsworth. He'll find Bagley, but Knaresborough regain possession on halfway and can look to build an attack. Here is shirt number 8, that being Jack Emmett, already on a booking earlier on in the first half. As Knaresborough continue their attack, looking to play it round the corner. And they're on this near-hand side. Handsworth free kick. So Handsworth with the free kicks taken. And Khan will play it over to Cropper. And Cropper straight back to Parkin in goal. Parkin plays it to captain John O'Williams. Williams, wearing shirt number 6. Williams will play it long, looking for Alfie Dodsworth over on the far-hand side. It'll come to Dodsworth, but he can't chest it down strong enough. Comes off a hand, and it will be a Knaresborough free kick. Just outside the D. So almost 10 gone here in the second half. Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1. You with Football Forum Live this Wednesday evening. Your company much appreciated. So ball played long from Tommy Brown in the Knaresborough goal. Win a, well, we believed they'd won a free kick, not to be. So possession continued. Now Trench looks for Dodsworth. Dodsworth looking to play through Kieran Wells. Kieran Wells takes a loose touch and goes rear over head. I can think of the Sheffield expression there, but it wasn't very appropriate. Bagley over on the far hand side, looking down towards. I'll come back to Cropper. Sam Fuchs looking towards. That one being Michael Trench looking over towards Cropper. Handsworth with the throw. Plays moving so quickly, I'm struggling to keep up. We will persist. Khan to Williams. Williams. And Williams carries. Trench interchanges with Williams. Williams back towards Sam Fuchs. Fuchs plays it along the deck. And Wells complaining to his teammate for a poor ball. And we have a Knaresborough man down on the edge of the 18-yard box. As the wind picks up once more. 57 on the watch here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1. Tommy Brown will take the goal kick. I forget. Sides have switched in the second half. That is how football works. And a bit of keep ball as the ball's played long. And here is Brandon Bagley, the Bags man. Bagley looking to play over on the far hand side. Chance played in towards Wells, but a Knaresborough man clears well enough. Can he keep that in? He does just about. But Handsworth regain possession over on the far-hand side. Played down, looking towards Cropper. But Knaresborough win possession back once more as that one goes out, and it will be a Handsworth throw in a central position. Ball played back to Khan. Khan on halfway. Khan finds Cropper. Cropper looks to send one long field. Will do so and find Wells. Looks to play it down, strikes! Low effort, but Tommy Brown got down quick enough and makes the save. Remains level at 1-1. You're with Football Forum Live. Joseph Hadfield taking you through the evening's action. Parkin with a throw out to Williams. Williams looking for options, aiming to slow the game down by the hand jab. Rather quick to build attacks. We know one man who has as well. Here is Alfie Dodsworth. Dodsworth over to Bagley. Bagley plays it across to Trench on this near-hand side. Trench back to Bagley. Bagley looking for options. Bagley will play it through, looking for a chance. Trench, has he remained onside? He has indeed. Played in, only as far as the Knaresborough man! And I believe tipped onto the post by Brown. I can't tell you for the life of me who that was that headed the ball from a Handsworth man, but almost the first lead of the evening for Handsworth. It's not, it's played downfield and Knaresborough had a chance of their own, but Handsworth regaining possession with John O'Williams here. Plays it over to Cropper and to Fuchs. Fuchs playing it long, looking for Bagley. But an offside call. And a free kick. It'll be to Knaresborough. "15 minutes gone in this second half. We've approached the hour mark. And we're still level at 1-1. As Dylan Parkin, the Handsworth number 1, goes down. And does require a bit of treatment. So the players go off for a bit of refreshment. But the Parkin can remain on because as is expected at this level of non-league football, substitute keepers are... Oh, there we go. A roly-poly, so he must be all right. Dylan Parkin's back on his feet, then on his back, then on his head, and back on his feet again. So he's all right. So the players returned to the field of play. And play will restart here with this Knaresborough free kick in a slightly defensive position. So Brown to play this ball upfield then, and does so. And a chance here for Knaresborough, but it's a great pair of hands from Dylan Parkin. And Handsworth win possession back. But he's brought down, and it looks like the referee is going to be getting his cards out of his pocket once again. And shirt number 6, that's Brad Walker. He goes into the referee's book. The ex-Harrogate Town Academy player, Brad Walker, spent 3 years in that academy. Ball played in here towards Kieran Wells. Comes out as far as Masai Arbuin. And it's played behind, and it will be a Handsworth corner, but Kieran Wells had a bit of a head injury, looks to be fine, and will continue. So Handsworth corner then, over on the far hand side. Handsworth looking to take the lead. Ball's played in here. And it'll go out for a throw-in on this near-hand side in a very advanced position, as opposed to a corner. So long throw specialist needed here. Fans are obscuring my vision, but we'll do our best, as we believe Michael Trench will be the one to take the long throw. He does so and plays it in, and a chance! And Knaresborough head gets to it, but it goes straight back to Tommy Brown. So all remains okay. 1-1 remaining the score here. And play downfield, and nothing much achieved there. So Handsworth throw, taken quickly, and straight back to Dylan Parkin, the goalkeeper. Out to Williams, the captain. Williams to Trench. Trench looking for options. Finds Fuchs, and Bagley takes it off him immediately. It's over to Khan. And Fuchs. Back to Cropper. Bit of a slow build-up here as Wells gets involved. And this is Nathan Cartman, scorer of Knaresborough's goal so far this evening. And Knaresborough look to continue their attack here down the far-hand side. A clash between a Handsworth and a Knaresborough man. And the decision goes the way of Handsworth on this near-hand side, wearing shirt number 3. Trench looking to Bagley and finds him on halfway. Brandon Bagley. This season of him to the number 4 being Sam Fuchs, and across to Cropper. Cropper plays it downfield, looking for Bishop. Bit of a shove. The referee thinks nothing of it, and it's a goal kick to Knaresborough. And a moment of calm at the Express Worktops Stadium this evening. So Brown with this goal kick up as Blackburn Rovers make it 5-2 now at home to Cardiff City. That's Blackburn pretty much through to the fourth round of the League Cup. Carr and Emmett on this near-hand side. Jack Emmett, he's looking for options. He'll only find Bagley of Handsworth. Bagley back to Trench, and Trench can send it down. But a Knaresborough man has a bit of a banana ball. Headed backwards by the number 15, Sam Cook for Knaresborough, and that will be a Handsworth throw-in on this near-hand side on halfway. So Trench to Fuchs and over to Cropper. Cropper on the far-hand side. Looking for Arbuin, and will find Dodsworth. Dodsworth looking to play in Bagley. Nothing doing. But Cartman can only send it out for Handsworth throw. Michael Trench interacting with the supporters. As a couple of players look to take on refreshment over on the far-hand side. And it is a Handsworth man that receives treatment. And of the players, Wells, who is down and receiving a little bit of treatment. And the sound of silence descending over the Express Worktops Stadium. Excuse me. And it looks as if Wells will be taken over towards the sideline. The referee eager to resume the game. But for now, Handsworth are down to 10. As are Knaresborough. But that being due to Knaresborough's dismissal as Kieran Wells returns to the field of play. So it's 11 versus 10 once more. Khan plays to Dodsworth and back to Cropper. To Sam Fuchs and to Michael Trench. Trench looking for options. He'll find Brandon Bagley. Bagley will hit one! From all of almost 40 yards. I know Mitch Dunn's hit some from that kind of range and had them in the back of the net. Not so fortunate this evening. Substitutions to be made by both sides. Or rather not. Just a... The match announcer mirroring the thoughts of myself and pretty much all the spectators this evening. The only one who has an idea of who's just come off is... and of course the player that has come on. So frankly, I've no idea. We'll make it up as we go along, but we'll work it out eventually. Here's Bagley. He's remained on. Bagley across to Fuchs. Handsworth looking to take a lead for the first time in this game. Cropper. Then back to Fuchs. Fuchs across to Bagley, who'll let it go through into Trench. Back to Bagley. Slow build-up play here from Handsworth, but we know how they can go from 0 to 100 very quickly. We've seen it in previous weeks. Here is Michael Trench. Back to Williams. Khan back to Williams. Williams across the back once more. Here's Bagley. Looking to take his man on and wins the free kick. The referee was going to let the advantage play, who decides not to. Williams will hit one! From all of 35 yards, but it's safe in the hands of Tommy Brown, the goalkeeper. Not really troubling him. So if we're guessing that, I'm overhearing there is a shirt number 14 on the pitch at the moment. That'll either be an Aaron Moxham of Handsworth or George Thulis of Knaresborough. I'm struggling to see a shirt number 14 for Handsworth as of yet. It remains 1-1 here at the Express Worktops Stadium. As we approach the 73rd minute here at the Express Worktops Stadium. It's plus a bit of additional time for these two sides to find a winner. Bishop looking to play it round the corner. He'll find Masai Albuin, but the referee calls offside. And a Knaresborough free kick over on this near-hand side. Substitutions ready once again. Oh, there we go. This time they're working. Kieran Wells. He's yet to have his. Craig Mitchell takes his place. One league goal so far this season for Craig Mitchell. He scored the winner on Saturday against Sheffield Utd here at the Express Worktops Stadium. We're at Euxton Villa. This is the number 11 for Knaresborough, that's Jack Carr. Just punts a ball in, and he'll find the number 6 of Brad Walker. Walker to number 15, that's Sam Cook. Cook, and they'll play it back to Carr. Carr still going onwards. Carr continues into the box. Carr will strike. Takes a deflection. And it is that of George Thewlis that has come on for Knaresborough. Unsure as... So Handsworth throw over on the far hand side. Played back to Fuchs. Fuchs over to Cropper. Cropper sends one in. But Tommy Brown gets a safe pair of hands to that one. 1-1, the score, 9. So ball played long. And it comes as far as Michael Trench for Handsworth. Took a bit of a deflection, but Brandon Bagley is there to pick up the remnants. Bagley making a bit of a back 5. So this is Khan over on the far-hand side. He's drifted more towards that right-back role, as maybe they've gone to a more sort of a 3 at the back, Handsworth, to take advantage of that man of advantage that they do have. Here's Masai Albuin. Trench. Will find Bishop. Bishop trying to play forwards towards Cropper, but Knaresborough can clear upfield and will do so now. With as that has been made a bit of a mess. But the Handsworth man kept going with him. Henry Khan, and concedes a corner, but nothing more. And from his, in his opinion, that's probably the best he could have hoped for. So corner over on Dick. But nothing doing. It's a race to get there. And it will be Tom Bishop that gets there. And Bishop sends it long, looking for Bagley. Bagley. The referee doesn't think handball, and Handsworth win the throw. Bagley will take quickly. It's back to Williams. And Williams can look to build here. Williams across to Cropper. And Cropper retains possession of bang on halfway, as the wind picks up ever further here at the Express Worktops Stadium. So much so that the floodlights seem to be flickering slightly. Guessing that's just the wind. Trench looking for Alfie Dodsworth. Throw to be taken. One of those actually counting. As a Knaresborough man is down and will require some attention. Unsure as to who that actually is, but we shall persevere. A substitution is made. Alfie Dodsworth is leaving the field of play. And Mason Barlow will take his place on the field of play in his position. And yet another one. Michael Trench coming off the field of play in place of Craig Nelthorpe. A usual switch that we see for Handsworth in numerous games.
Substitution on 79 minutes. Leaving the field with number 7, Alfie Barlow. And number 3, Michael Trench, replaced by 15, Craig Nelthorpe.
So play resumes with Williams and Fuchs. And Fuchs will hit one. But nothing doing in that. And at what point does a level of desperation start to set in for these Handsworth players? Reminder, up until last Wednesday, they had 7 straight league victories. As the referee seems to have had enough of Tommy Brown's time wasting, he goes into the book. So Tommy Brown, the Knaresborough keeper's in the book. French-born, formerly of the Notts County Academy of 2022. So Handsworth with this free kick then, and will do so to Bagley. And here is 15, that is Nelthorpe on this left-hand side. Knaresborough look to continue. Handsworth have got to try and make that man advantage count. And they'll get a free kick. Is the referee heading for his pocket once more? Doesn't look like it. Eight minutes to go, plus a bit of additional time here at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1. Let's hope the added time is not too extensive. We all want to get out of here at some point this evening. Kick, all but 2 of their outfield players are in the vicinity. Ball's played in, but it's straight at Tommy Brown. And maybe wind assistance, which is something that no scorer has needed this evening, maybe is being a bit of a hindrance. Out for a Handsworth throw in, and once again, as is the norm this evening, Handsworth will send that one straight back to Dylan Parkin. Nelthorpe wearing shirt 15, back to Williams, but he's made a mess of that pass. And here is Cartman. Cartman for Knaresborough. He'll send it backwards. That one, if it's out, the bar is still open, which I presume it is not. So here is Bagley. Bagley across to Cropper. Cropper over on the far-hand side. Arbuin. And Cropper once more. Cropper looking to play it long, looking for Bishop. The referee calls it back for a Knaresborough throw as a Knaresborough man goes down once again. Surely it's got to be nothing more than cramp at this stage. Heading for the exits yet. Who knows how this game will finish? So Knaresborough with the free kick played up towards Dylan Parkin, but gets a safe pair of hands to that and will send it back from whence it came. Frankly, it feels a bit like goalkeeper tennis at the moment. Approaching the final 5 minutes of normal time here in Sheffield 9. Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1. Football Forum Live for you Wednesday evening. Knaresborough throw on this near-hand side. Scooters. So Handsworth have the ball here with Mitchell looking for Barlow, but it's headed back to Tommy Brown in the Knaresborough goal. We're now into that final 5 minutes at the Express Worktops Stadium. It is Craig Mitchell who's playing the striker role. Parkin heads it out! He's brought him down. It's Masai Arboin. And he's into the referee's notebook. Masai Obuin is in the book on 86 minutes. Similar sort of range, maybe possibly 30 yards. And a chance here for Knaresborough to steal it late on. The referee's instructing the kick to be taken. He'll strike it straight at the wall. I think Handsworth were planning that. Tommy Brown claims the ball. And a chance! And a great save! And does it look as if the referee has given a penalty? What has the referee given? There is a yellow card for someone. And we believe it is of Handsworth persuasion. It's a free kick on the edge of the D. On the edge of the 18-yard box. Unsure as to who that is that has been booked. It is the number 6, Jonathan Williams, the Handsworth captain. So Williams is in the book. Chance here for the number 11, Jack Carr. From all of 20 yards out, Carr with a chance to seal the victory for Knaresborough at this late stage. 88 on the watch. It is the number 11, Jack Carr, who will step back to take it, or will he lay it off? There is a 5-man Handsworth wall. It's taken, it's saved! And it's saved again by Parkin! It wasn't the number 11, Jack Carr, it was the secondary kick taker that he had with him, unable to see the shirt number. It'll come out though. He's still on the ball. The number 9, Nathan Cartman. He'll look to play it out to the far hand side. Ball's played in. Corner Knaresborough. As we approach the 89th minute here at the Express Worktops Stadium, one apiece. So corner to Knaresborough over on the far-hand side. We're level at 1-1. We're into the 90th minute now here on Football Forum Live. Knaresborough have this corner. It's taken and it's sent in and it's sent straight back out from a Handsworth head. Handsworth look to counter and look to break, but Knaresborough have the ball with the number 17, Aaron White. And he'll play it forward and find Cartman over on the far-hand side. Cartman looking for options. Aaron White has pulled forward. Remains Knaresborough in possession. They have this throw over on the far-hand side in an attacking position. Played on my watch. We're awaiting the board. 7 added minutes here at the Express Worktops Stadium. 7 additional minutes to be played, with which we're into now. The linesman sees a handball, but it's of a Handsworth advantage. The ball to play continues and sent long and sent down towards Cartman. Here is Cartman. Off a Handsworth man, that's behind, that'll be a corner. Corner Knaresborough, 91st minute of the game. Stadium. Knaresborough play the corner in. But it's a shocker of a ball forward, and it's out for a Knaresborough throw in a central position. Temperature dips here in Sheffield 9. A substitution is going to be made at this very late stage. If the ball doesn't work, we know it's probably for Knaresborough. No, it is a Handsworth sub. Brandon Bagley's off. Aaron Moxham's on. The bench to score the winner in the 3-2 victory at home to Hallam in our first commentary of the season. Can he provide the winner yet again in Sheffield 9? We shall see. It's his only league goal so far this campaign. 4.5 minutes to turn that 1 point into 3. Knaresborough with the throw. As the wind blows an... So Knaresborough with the throw then. Long throw played towards the edge of the box. Played in. Not quite sure what the referee signalled there, but by all accounts and purposes. As a cold shiver runs through me, Nelthorpe on this near-hand side. Playing down, that's a shocker of a pass. He was looking for Moxham, but that wasn't anything to be admired. It's a Knaresborough throw. The big coat might have been needed for these sort of temperatures. They certainly will in future weeks. We shall see. Knaresborough with the throw on this near-hand side. Blade down. Only as far as Nelthorpe. But it's the Knaresborough man that gets the head onto it. He gets the ball and has the throw in. It's right in front of our commentary position here. Tries to steal a few yards. Not to be. Referee sees barrier. Playing for time here. By my watch, we've had 4 of the additional 7 minutes, probably a couple to go. Our Handsworth heading for their first league draw of the season. If they can't find a winner in the next 3 minutes, they will be. Here's Fuchs. So get past his man. He can't do as the view is obscured, so I can't bring you information as to what is going on. Knaresborough have the ball, but it's won back by Fuchs. Fuchs. This is to Moxham. Nelthorpe to send it in. Only comes as far as Barlow, and he'll send it back to Williams. Williams over on the far side. Khan. Williams. We're into the last minute of additional time. Cardiff City out of the League Cup. They've lost 5-2 away at Blackburn Rovers. We're watching a 1-1 here between Handsworth and Knaresborough Town. Goal kick to Knaresborough. By my watch, we've got 20 seconds to play. As some fans... Goal kick played up long. It's kitchen sink time for both sides, really. Or are they going to settle for the draw? Played long. Arbuin, high feet. It's a red card. It is a red card. And this has descended into anarchy. There will be a red card for a Handsworth man. I've no idea who it is. I have no clue whatsoever who it is. I believe it is Henry Khan that has been sent off for Handsworth. But is it? Who is it that has been sent off? Or is it the number... It's either the number 2 or the number 6? It's the 12, is it? From what I'm being reported. Craig Mitchell. Craig Mitchell, the substitute, he has been sent off. By my watch, we're well over the time allotted now. Both sides down to 10 as we approach the whatever the referee decides to add on here. kick. It's last chance saloon for Knaresborough if they want to win this game. That's straight back to Parkin. Parkin, they've got to go long. They've got to go for it. That's out for a throw. It is a Handsworth throw. The referee calls full time here at the Express Worktops Stadium. A first league draw of the campaign for the Ambers. They were aiming to go joint top of the Premier Division. They'll have to settle for a point. A game that started and then the visitors being reduced to 10 men. Cole Wilding being sent off on the half hour for a last man challenge. Dodsworth equalising from the penalty spot on half time. Mixed chances, no more goals, and Craig Nelthorpe with a rash challenge in the 98th minute. The sides finish with 10 apiece. They are at the Express Worktops Stadium. Handsworth 1, Knaresborough Town 1.
From Hallam to Handsworth, this is Football Forum Live.
So it has finished 1-1 here at the Express Worktops Stadium between Handsworth and Knaresborough Town. Let's just, if we can, bring you up to date with all the full-time results from across the national picture, mainly in the league. They were 1-0 up at half-time. They have won 2-1. Blackburn Rovers 5, Cardiff City 2. AFC Bournemouth 2, Stoke City 0. Brentford 0, Arsenal 1. Chelsea 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Fulham 2, Norwich City 1. Lincoln City 0, West Ham United 1. Liverpool 3, Leicester City 1. And currently they're into the 86th minute at the... I'm trying to remember the name of it now. St James's Park, of course. Newcastle United 1, Manchester City 0 is a latest score. Let's just double check if we can with how things have gone on at the Parker Roofing Memorial Ground. Rossington Main have beaten Penistone Church by 2 goals to 1 in that game as well. Can we check on Albion Sports just before we sign off? That, well, we haven't had any updates there, but I do believe that it is 1-1 at the moment. They're approaching the 90th minute there. And have we got a result involving Campion tonight? I do not know, but we shall see. I'm getting no results as of yet for an update on how Campion have gone, but there we are as the stands become empty and the supporters stream out of the gate. That is as far as we go this evening from the Express Worktop Stadium. A huge thanks to Josh Chapman, Callum Cheswick, George Barber and Ben Collins for providing their reactions and previews of future within the next week or so. But we will be back hopefully on the 11th of October, Wednesday night, to bring you live commentary from the Parker Roofing Memorial Ground of Classico. Penistone Church against Emley. Hope to see you then. From all the team here on Football Forum, and we'll finish with this. We've seen a great game of football here at the Express Worktop Stadium today. And as for Sheffield, the state of Sheffield football at the moment, if you excuse Handsworth, it's definitely not red. It's definitely not blue. It's good night.
With the latest from the Steel City, this is Football Forum.